My name is Jack Seidler, and you are watching That Hella Dank podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I hope you enjoy.
These days are the ones you wanna hold on to. These days should be spent with the ones who love you. These days, whoa, these days. Hold on tight to these days. Now I'm gonna hold on and never let go of these memories we making every day. I'll do my best and my good golly darndest to never rest when it comes to filling them full of love in every single way. Not for nothing, gotta be for something. Keep the positive jumping. Turn the good times up and keep them coming. These days right here are what I'm loving. These days are the ones you wanna hold on to. These days should be spent with the ones who love you. These days, whoa, these days. Hold on tight to these days. When I hold them tight, they don't ever fade away. No, I promise to give my all, no matter the cost. Hang some memories on the wall. Try to cherish all the little things. These days right here are pulling at my heartstrings. These days are the ones you wanna hold on to. These days should be spent with the ones who love you. These days, whoa, these days. Hold on tight to these days.
Damn, dude.
Campfire song.
That was so cool, dude.
Thanks, y'all.
That is so cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
You want to turn his volume mic down, that one, just equalize it to the rest. Awesome.
Word. Hi,
Is that a new
guys.
one that you've done? Or?
Brand new. Like, yeah, never performed it in front of nobody.
That was
nothing.
badass.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That is so cool, man.
Thank you.
That's
Thanks for
awesome.
having
Thank
me.
you for giving us the opportunity to hear it for the first time.
Dude.
Campfire songs.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's
Yeah.
right. First on the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
we got, thank you so much. We got Mac Moss in the house. He's on the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Mac Moss Music on YouTube, dude. That's so cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack there, man. You're such a cool dude, and
Thank you.
you drove all the way here, so just thanks again for doing
Thanks
that.
for having me, man.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
that, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. I've never put that out there yet live like that. So
yeah,
just at home,
yeah. So we were talking a little bit earlier. You grew up like entirely like in Oregon most of your whole life.
So I was
It's
born and raised in Oakland, California.
Okay.
Yeah, San Leandro, California, and Oakland, and moved up here. Well, actually, my family was up here too, so I was back and forth a lot for my childhood, and went to school up here, and then summers down there, and then switched, vice versa. But I got in a lot of trouble in California, so eventually, finally came up here, for good, and yeah.
Hell yeah, man. When did how old were you when you came up here? Or
Officially,
yeah,
like I left California for good and put it in my rear view and never went back as far as living there at the age of 15.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, probably like it up here a lot more than down there. I bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little slower life, but
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you got a lot going on in your, I follow you on all your socials, and I see like you do great music as we
Thank
just
you,
saw,
man.
and
Thanks.
so
It's
do
not
you-
for everybody, but I'm trying.
Nah, man. Like I was listening to some of your music like today and all last week and some of the week before, like when we first talked. And dude, like you got like when you were saying before we got the show started, how you can do like multiple different voices.
Oh yeah.
And like there was like some songs I'd put on where I'm like, is that the same? Like I had to check, make sure. But like they're great.
Thank
know?
you,
So
man. I
you're really
appreciate
good at that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, like I was saying, I try to match the song and do the song justice. I don't care about me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't ever want to sound the same on two songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't want people to go, "Oh, that's Mac Moss."
Yeah.
I want people to go, "Who the hell is that?" "Oh my God, it's Mac Moss." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always do the song justice. I don't care about my reputation.
Yeah.
Because music's in my soul and my DNA and my blood. Like I don't make music for anybody else but me. And I'm just honored that like anybody else is even listening to it or interested in it. You know what I mean? So
No, for sure, man. Like, at what point in your life did you decide like music was like? I mean, you had a military career, you had a bunch of other stuff, but it seems like the music is you talk about that the most. It seems the most important to you. When was that like?
very young. I mean, music's just always been in my life. Very young age. Grew up in a happy house of music and dancing around, and just a variety of music. So I always just was involved and surrounded by a plethora of genres of music. So I think I got my first typewriter at 7 years old and some freaking rice paper and started typing poetry on that.
On rice paper?
Yeah, on rice paper.
That's
It's all I had back then. And then I just later on turned into music. Like probably 11, 12 years old is when I started recording, myself on a microphone, in a bedroom on a tape
That's
deck to
pretty
tape
cool.
deck freaking thing,
Like what, reel to reel or something?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I'm not that old, but
That's all right. That's funny.
No.
That's so cool, man. So
Yeah,
you've been
hey.
doing this for a while.
My whole life, man. I
Yeah.
just never. I'm from the slum. I'm from the gutter, man. I mean, mom did her best and whatever, but like we're below blue collar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
really, really meager and humble upbringings, and didn't always have any, thing given to me or given to us, and so I never had a chance or anybody to support me in that way and put money behind me,
Yeah.
And so I've always just been nose to the grindstone, man, like Tyler Childers, man, and just working my ass off to, get
Had
by.
to get out there and get it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I like respect about you so much is like seeing all the stuff you do online. It's just like you seem like you have that go-getter energy, and I always like aspire to try to be that as much as I can. But it's so cool, like when I know someone like that can go out and just like do music videos, whatever it is you got going on. Like it's inspiring to see that. But I guess an upbringing like that, could make someone do that or not.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty. So like when you first started recording music and got into it, was like. Because I'm sure, like, there wasn't much rap back then. It was, like, R&B and stuff. Like, what was, like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You
I've
just
always
liked anything? Or?
Yeah, but I've always been into gangster rap. The first time I started recording was with Crips.
Oh, really?
From my neighborhood, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 7-4 Hoover Crips.
Well, wow.
Yeah, and, they were 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. Yeah, and so it was in actually their bedrooms where I started to first record because we would have ciphers. Flow circles back in the day before everybody called them ciphers.
Yeah.
Which is, everybody in a circle and we, freestyling, rhymes off the top of the head, and hand boning too. I got to give it up. Let me give a shout out to hand boning. If anybody knows what hand boning is, we used to hand bone in the back of the box Chevy trucks, man. And that helped just build my rhythm and my poetry and just, my timing and everything.
Yeah, what were you guys listening to, like, for artists? Like,
back then it was, oh, man, Gosh, it was everything.
Yeah.
Too Short.
Too Short.
NWA, of
yeah,
course.
Yeah.
Eazy-E.
Yeah.
You know, all that.
So the right mix.
Yeah,
the right
yeah,
mix
for
of stuff.
sure.
Yeah. That's so
and all
cool.
the legends too. But we preferred growing up. You know, our era was gangster rap.
Yeah.
You know, 90s gangster rap and R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
That was the hottest era.
Yeah.
You know, I was born in '78. Don't tell nobody. Might cut that out. Let me put on the hat so they don't be telling how old I am.
No, dude.
But
That's cool, dude. Yeah. And, I like, for me, like, obviously, you know, I'm younger than you, obviously, but I love that same 90s genre of like late 80s, 90s, you know, thousands, like gangster rap or just rap in general, you know, it's like Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang Clan, you name it. Like those guys, I love listening to them because it's like a different style of music, you know, versus like I grew up listening to like classic rock and
Pioneers,
stuff.
Man, yeah.
And so like my mom was listening to classic rock and, you know, I listened to country, but then like I was introduced to like rap and I was like, oh shit, like this is like a different thing. Like this is a different storytelling method, like it's poetry. Like I think he had a song called Poetry that I was jamming out.
Jay, you want to talk about that real quick while we're on it?
Sure, yeah.
So poetry, and I haven't told nobody this about that song, was my way of trying to do mumble rap for this new millennial generation and bring them over to my side where the real good music is behind that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still had to do it and be professional. I didn't want it to be stupid or funny.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to like reach a younger audience.
Yeah.
And because they're just, and if you listen to the song, most of it, I'm okay, it has something to do with relationships, but most of it don't make sense. Come on. You know what I mean?
It's got good beat though.
It's
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was trying to cater. I'm trying to bring these young kids back to, you know, what real music is, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that was the story behind poetry. But I ended up actually the more I listen to it, the more I love it. You know
I
what
like
I mean?
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like
Thank
it. When
you.
I was listening to it, I had to turn around. Like I was in the kitchen doing something. I was like blasting your music on my phone. And like that song came on, I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is some fresh shit right here." I liked it.
Thank you. And
yeah,
and no offense, you're not saying you're like well, you're younger.
Yeah.
You like that.
Well,
you know?
that's like what I noticed though with that song is like you had other songs like Oregon Guidebook, like the range from that then to that. It's just like that is so cool. Like I like people with range like that.
Thank you.
Like
big spectrum. Finally, somebody that likes range.
Yeah. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. It's like, you know, some artists should stick doing what they do, but I think if someone can reach beyond like, you know, like what you're doing, like you're kind of in your own group. You know? It's. You know,
I hope
it's
so.
refreshing.
I'm not trying to, you know, I've got influences my whole life from so many people, right?
Yeah.
And I look up to so many artists that have paved the way, you know, and I don't want to be anything like them, even though they've influenced me big time.
Yeah.
I just want to be myself. But like I said, I can't stop making music. I'm not going to stop. I'm gonna be on my deathbed humming a tune because it's just in my blood. And when something like that is in your blood, you can't stop. You just and though it is an art and whatever, and it's sellable, let's say you have a passion, right, and it's an art form of some sort, and you can profit off of it, then that's fine and all. But you know, knowing here's the big change in my career. When I went, and that's the switch. When I went from making music for others and worrying about my reputation and what I sounded like and what I looked like, and you know what I mean, and how and what I was trying to portray to the whole world and make music for the whole world.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that, and I started making music for myself, and I didn't give a shit anymore. Can we cuss?
No, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Trust me.
Okay. Have I been cussing this whole time? I wouldn't even know.
Dude, you're good.
I'm an infantry
grunt. We're 18 and up on my channel.
All right, cool.
You're good.
But no, a real magic happened when I made that switch, and I decided to start just not caring what other people thought about my music anymore.
Yeah.
It started becoming incredible, and I think it's getting better by the fucking day.
That is really cool. I've heard I hear that like just other people talking about that. It's like when you learn to stop trying to present for other people and just be yourself. Like it just opens a whole nother world. I feel like that just goes like to just like life too.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't need to go out wearing fancy clothes or driving a like so trying to show out for people. It's like people like you.
I'll never be like that. Even if I got rich off this this music of mine. I don't consider being rich financial, financial has nothing to do with being rich, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
rich
monetarily stable, let's say.
Wealthy.
Right?
Yeah.
I ain't going to change. I can't. I cherish money too much. I come from nothing.
Yeah.
I come from nada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've slept under the homies' stairs and in cardboard dumpsters behind Domino's pizzas and, in the homies' shed, I mean, I've been to the bottom, you know, so... but I just appreciate it all, and I don't take nothing for granted no more. But yeah,
that's cool, man. Yeah, and I'm knowing your life is so like growing up in Oakland and then the military career, like going into that's gotta kind of change your outlook on things to just kind of I'm like that's a lot for someone to go through, and I can understand like if you don't mind me asking, like when you were starting the music, were you doing that when you were serving time, like in a service at all?
Way before that.
Way before that. Okay.
Because I'll be honest, and it was my own mess up. I joined the military at 30 years old. Man, don't ever do that, y'all. Do not ever do that. I lost 46 pounds immediately as soon as I got there because I joined the infantry. You know what I mean?
You're a Marine, right?
No, Army infantry.
Army infantry. Okay.
Yeah, and so. Fort Benning, Georgia in 2008, was crazy. But I lost 46 pounds immediately.
Wow.
But I was couch surfing. I was homeless before I joined the military, and it was my mom had died in 2006 on Thanksgiving evening, in her sleep of diabetes and epilepsy. She just didn't wake up, and then 2 years of being homeless and figuring out life and just going through crazy shit and whatever and couch surfing, I decided to join the military at 30 years old. Yeah. And it changed my whole life.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of one of the only outs you can get, right? Like either you sleep under a bridge or you go,
I didn't have any felonies yet, you know what I mean? So I was like... let's do it.
Yeah.
Although it did take me about 11 waivers to get in because of some driving shit. You know? Yeah. I used to be a street racer and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The street takeovers are big in California.
Oh yeah. We used to call them sideshows in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we just pull up anywhere in a parking lot intersection and just start sideshowing and ghost riding the whips and all that.
Damn.
Yeah. That's back in the day too. I mean, it's been going on in Oakland for.
Well,
decades.
You see it online all the time. Like, they call them street takeovers now, and they're just going in intersections doing donuts and blasting music, and people are shooting music videos there. And, that's... I would be too scared to be part of that. Did you have... did something break? Or?
No, is it on Community?
The button on it.
Is that right?
It might be dead. It might be dying.
I think it is. It's all good.
No,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So, military, freaking 30 years old. And
when did you get out?
2016.
Holy shit, you were there for 8 years?
8 years,
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And, let's see. Yeah, I went to Iraq. I basically signed up to go over to Iraq because I knew my unit in Corvallis was going over. Pretty much right after I would be done with my whole basic training and all that stuff. In fact, there was only a 3-month gap between getting out of basic training and going over to Iraq. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, how long is basic training again?
Altogether, it's the same for everybody. It's about 4.5 weeks-ish, I think.
And they're just busting your ass.
Busting your ass, yeah. Doing, breaking you down, building you up. But and then you do either AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training, and you do that somewhere else, either at a different base or with a different unit somewhere or whatnot, or you do like I did, which is OSUT, and that's where you stay with your unit that you did basic with, and you just do the AIT with the same unit the whole time in the same place. You don't go nowhere, no breaks, none. Just let's get it. Right. So.
Wow.
And that's what we did.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
So, and was that the 8 years you're kind of talking about earlier when you took a break from music?
Yeah, well, not that. No, actually, I was continuing to do my music and whatnot, and that whole time. But here's the thing: I'll let everybody in on. Quit smoking cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes my whole life, and I mean from a very young age. I might as well have been smoked for 43 years. I'm only 46 right now. I'm talking because I've been last August 26th. It's been 3 years, right, since I quit. Forever. I'm done forever. Thank you, Chantix, the old school Chantix. 10 days helped me get through that. But anyway.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out, right? Hey, you know, Mac Moss, spokesperson. No. But it's the best thing I've ever done. Basically, you know, mom smoked with me in the womb, bottle feeding me in the house my whole life. Started buying me and my sister cigarettes when I was 11, cartons of cigarettes, and letting us smoke in the house because we was getting in all kinds of trouble out in public, and she was just tired of it. She's like, I can't stop y'all from smoking, so smoke in the house. Anyway, she was a great woman. She was just single mom for, since I was 1.5. But anyway, long story short, my whole life changed, dude, after I quit smoking cigarettes. That's why I started this singing thing, and I mean, I never was able to carry a note. Not saying that I can now much, but I
think you do all right.
I couldn't. So humble.
I couldn't. I'm serious. I couldn't hold no note. I couldn't. Go up and down in any kind of notes or nothing. And it was like a short sprinter, like that. I was good in short distances, but
you were just like running out of breath.
That and just my throat messed up from 43 years of inhalation of smoke and
I'm sure going to Iraq, I'm sure you're breathing in all sorts of wild shit doing all that too. Yeah. That's hardcore, man.
That place is a shithole.
I can't imagine, man. I mean, you've been there. I don't know. But.
Yeah, they don't really care about the planet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, anyway. I hear about the burn pits that people get there's lots of burn pits that people breathe in and get sick, and it's just
particulate matter goes right through any dust mask. It gets through. And they don't give you no respirators, no nothing over there.
Yeah, I hear it's a problem that people get a lot of sand in their lungs. If they're there long enough.
Man, I was in a sandstorm, bro. Let me tell you, ever seen a sandstorm?
Like Dune kind of sandstorm?
It's real.
Yeah, I haven't seen one, no.
Hey, imagine a sandstorm, a wave of sand, you see in the ocean, like a wave of sand, a mile high.
That'd be scary.
And about 15 miles long. You can't see the ends of it. And it's just barreling in on you at 35, 45 miles an hour.
Wow. And it's like sandpaper going against your face, dude. Holy shit.
It's one of the most horrific Earth events I've ever witnessed in my life, man.
That's wild.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was stuck on this bus on base for like an hour.
Yeah. So you're getting sand in your lungs at some point, I know. That's
time.
wild.
Yeah.
Carcinogens and
carcinogens and
rock
sand.
particles.
Yeah.
But so coming back from that, then it's sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
So came back and spent 13 months over there, 09 and 10. And,
okay.
Yeah, and so 13 months total in the whole deployment, basically. Got back and it is what it is.
Yeah. And so when you got back to your music straight away,
pretty much. I mean, I was trying to write as much as I could over there while I was over there too, and
who do you when I look at some of your videos and stuff, it seems like you got different producers and
producers all over the world.
Okay. I guess you were kind of mentioned something about one question off of that I wanted to ask you, do you help make music videos or do you make music videos? I thought I saw you saying something that you were helping to make a music video or something for someone. Or is it just you make your own?
I make my own.
Okay, maybe that's what I was reading.
I don't make my own, but the guy that's made every single music video I have now or out so far, which is 6 or 7, I think 6.
Yeah.
Maybe, is Justin Champ. Lil Flip from FOB,
okay,
and what is it? Champagne Dreams. LC, I don't know. Anyway, I'll look it up.
Dude, I was watching it was one of your songs from like 9 years ago or something. It's like a smoke or something.
Oh, Smoke Something?
Yeah, Smoke Something, dude. I was watching that. I was like, this is great.
So if you notice in that one, it's actually in the house I'm in now, or still. I wanted to replicate kind of like that 70s show in the basement when they're smoking weed.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And they got the camera going around the table.
Circle,
yeah. So that's what we kind of wanted to get. And then I got
awesome.
Dazed and Confused playing on the freaking, TV and all that.
Yeah, I was loving it. I was like, this is so, like, it kind of reminded me of like a burner video or something. It was hilarious, dude. That's great. But you got a couple of them too, and then like you had that reel you sent me where you do like a voiceover.
Oh,
was that what that was like a voiceover, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was like a sing along or something. Huh?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
But you do voiceovers though, right? Like or voice acting. You were saying something. So like that?
It's something because I can do so many different voices. It's something that I'm trying to get into. Hopefully. Down the road, I'll be able to have that chance. Actually, a lot sooner than I think.
Okay.
So, I don't want to get too into it and jinx it, but so big things are happening, and this is my year, man. I'm taking this year by storm.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to be hiring an internship from the college to follow me around as my assistant because I need as much documentation and videography done as possible.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's pretty cool, dude. Well, you got some good ideas, and like I don't know that stuff, the video you were showing me earlier, like anything like that.
Oh yeah,
that is like boots on the ground kind of videography. That is so cool. That is awesome.
Yeah, get out in the field, man.
Gotta get out there.
Yeah.
So
and then I took we were gonna say the 8-year break from music was because I was trying to have a family, you know, and so. I'm back with a vengeance, especially now quitting the cigarettes, man. My whole life has changed. I actually feel like I got a Benjamin Button thing going on, like I'm aging backwards. I swear to God,
well, you look good, man.
Thank
you look
you.
good, dude.
It's the healthiest I've ever been. Like I don't even. Like this, I drink water and teas and stuff. I don't even mess around hardly anymore. But get natural, get fit, get pure, and that's the way to go. I mean, it's amazing. Your health is your wealth, and I'm learning that now.
Yeah, so. No, for sure, man. That couldn't be much better said than that. So, I guess you got a lot of other stuff kind of going on right now, but I saw like you put out like a single, you put out that album last year, the Multiple Personalities album. So you got more coming on top of that. And do you just write all the time, or you just
every morning?
Every morning, because
it's when I'm most creative. I think it's because I wake up. I'm a very vivid dreamer. I talk very loud. I sleep and like super clear. And like long sentences and I dream every night, you know, and whether it's nightmares or not, we'll get into that later. But no, so all my best ideas are like right when I wake up, you know, and all my creativity. I've got ADHD my whole life, and so I only sleep 5 to 6 hours a night. You know, if any more than 6 hours, I'm worthless. I'm
groggy and stuff.
Yeah, can't do it. Yeah.
Damn, so I wish I had that power.
Yeah, when I wake up, I'm a Tasmanian devil. I'm ready to go. You know, and like.
Do you drink coffee or anything?
Nah, so I didn't drink coffee my whole life, and just since I quit cigarettes and stuff, I started having a cup here and there. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you get jacked up from that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: it's a chemical imbalance, right? For me, sometimes it's an upper, sometimes it's a downer because of the ADHD, right? You know, so it's a coin toss, man.
That's wild. Yeah, I started drinking coffee at a young age. I couldn't imagine.
Oh,
that's
not
wild.
me. No. Yeah, I'm always so hyper. You know, I was jumping off furniture my whole life, you know, in the house and stuff.
That was probably the last thing you needed. Then.
Yeah. They when I was a kid, they found out I was immune to Ritalin and Prozac and all that. All the doctors.
Your body just ate it up, dude.
Yeah, it's like, you ain't shit.
Wow.
Get away from me.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, so
So so I guess we'll kind of get into the process a little bit. Sorry if I'm like,
yeah, no, please.
yeah.
I'm not in a hurry.
But so you got writing, and then like say you're getting ready, like you want to like produce, like say just even a single, like you just call up. Like, do you have a studio that you go to at your house, or do you have one at your house, or?
So just pre-production, just so I just do all my writing and fine tuning the songs at my place, and then I take them to the studios and record them.
Okay, so you do go to a studio.
Oh yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, after this next move, this year I plan on investing in some new equipment.
Yeah.
Tough times. You got to sell all your shit you've ever owned. Just to survive.
Yeah.
No. I've had to start over so many times. It's ridiculous.
Hey, man, it happens. It happens. But it's tough out there.
Yeah. But no, I mean, just a little, equipment for the house is going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But I do prefer a professional studio.
Yeah.
But I've been in $10 million studios, $1 million studios, $100,000 studios, $20,000 studios,
yeah,
$500 studios, $350 studios,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all about preference too. I've gotten some of my best sound out of a shower with egg cartons and mattresses on the walls.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? So it's all
that's
about
classic.
Yeah, it's all about what you prefer, and if the engineer knows what he or she is doing, then.
Yeah,
it's on.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's pretty cool.
Hang me upside down like a bat and put a mic in front of me, dog. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think the whole studio thing, like, I always thought that like work in a studio of any kind would be so cool. It's that whole landscape I feel like is badass.
Yeah,
just watch all that happen and someone putting in like just art on the microphone, and I don't know. I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
But so, and then after that, I guess you go through that distro thing you were talking about. Like once you get it put together.
So I used to be with DistroKid, and that's a distribution deal that I recommend not going with kids, just because they're not upfront very much with the small print, and by small print I mean it's hidden. It's not there for you to read. You have to dig hard for it. And anyway, so I got a new distribution deal. I was in 57 countries with that last distribution deal, and now since the switch with the new one, I'm in now 67 countries. And what's there, 174, 175 countries in the world?
Yeah, something like that.
So
I'm coming. Sure it's 170.
I'm coming for the rest of you.
That's funny.
I got a buddy in Australia. He's like, "We're bumping your shit down here," and I'm like, "Right
That
on."
is so cool, dude. Just like your stuff is played in like the Philippines or something.
Yeah,
like, that'd
serious,
be so
and Bali and all that.
That'd be so crazy.
I think I just picked up China, which was hard to kind of break into. I think just because of the communism of the country, and they don't allow people to listen.
A lot of artists can't get into China. Yeah, it's like North Korea too. You have to send USB drives on balloons over there for them to get music. Yeah.
So I was proud of that one recently. I was like, "All right, China, I got you."
That is so cool.
No, I don't know if I have a video of it. And I said, looks like my music finally made it to China. And I've always wanted to say this. Made in America, motherfuckers!
Imagine the name of the song, Made in America, played in China. That'd be great. Man, that is so cool. That's just mind-blowing.
It's awesome. I'm just humbled by it, because like I said, I make music for myself, especially now.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate anybody and everybody that checks me out and listens to me or whatever. I want to make campfire songs now, you know what I mean? Like stuff that anybody and everybody can sit around a campfire and sing or play on the guitar, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just positive, more positive music. I've never been into dark music, like as far as me making it.
Yeah.
I've got songs with metal bands, with blues bands, country guys, all kinds of different cats. I've got songs with people I've never even met in real life. So like, thank God for the internet, right?
You're just sending each other verses, basically.
Yeah, and then take it to the mastering guy, and anyway,
just stacks it together.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I just want to make good music with good people from here on out, and that's it.
Yeah, well, that's respectable, man. I can understand that. I can see, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't make music or anything, but I can imagine, like, if you start getting anywhere with it, you could probably get lost in the sauce of it. So it's cool to, like, I think it's important for people to know, like, just to kind of stick to your shit and, hold on tight, you know?
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments or anything like that?
Nah, just the microphone.
Just the
really.
microphone, yeah.
I love the harmonica, and I can get away with blending in with a loud band.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I played cello for a very short time in middle school, which I love. I love the cello. It's one of my favorite instruments.
The cello is pretty dope, actually.
Yeah.
It's have you ever seen those cats on YouTube? It's like 2 cellos.
Oh yeah,
they're like
like electric cellos.
Yeah,
or something.
they're going hard.
They're all black and thin and no body and shit. Or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
Those guys are wild.
Yeah, so cool. And there's some girls that either do the violins or the cellos too. Yeah.
She does the electric violin. It's like Metallica music and stuff. She's amazing.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, but I think your voice is probably one of the hardest instruments to master, at the end of the day, like you said, being able to like get with the lows and the highs and kind of vocalize or whatever the word is I'm thinking of is just like, especially if you've been smoking cigarettes for 40 years, dude, like that's got to take some,
bro. Here's the thing. I'll never claim to be a singer for the rest of my life, but I love doing it. And here's one of my biggest life mottos. If it's from your heart, you can, and if it's truly from your heart, you can never be wrong. No matter what you're doing. Murdering somebody, I don't care. If it's in your heart. No, I'm just playing. Edit that out. No,
you're good.
But no, for real, if you're coming from the heart, you can sound like shit. And I see you on stage giving it your all, and I know it's coming from your heart. I'm into you. I'm into it. You know what I mean? I don't care if it sounds like shit or not. This person's giving it their all. I can tell.
They're up there. I'm not. Kind of ordeal, right, That's how I feel. Like I've seen some artists, or I've even listened to some that's just like most people probably wouldn't even care to listen to it. But I'm like, you know what? Like I fuck with this person. Like they're on the other end putting it out. I'm listening. So I mean, they got more balls than me.
Right.
It's
well,
just like,
and you can tell. I think you can tell the fakes. You can tell the people that don't have the passion, or they're just lazy about it, or they're just doing it as a little side hobby or something. You know what I mean? In any art.
Yeah.
In any field.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell who's disingenuous.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel it music-wise.
Sure.
Like you said, if they're on stage giving it their all, you can hear it and feel it.
Yeah, it comes
you
through.
know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I can't really think of any concerts I've been to where anyone felt disingenuous, but I'm sure it's like there's been some artists like just listening on my phone that I'm just like, fuck that. You know?
Oh, you're not a Swiftie?
No,
come on,
I'm not.
She's so genuine though.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to her though. She's been hanging tight to her shit since 2008, 6 or whatever. She's been around for a minute, and she's just a god now. And I'm just like, I don't listen to any of that shit. But more respect to her. She's a billionaire. I'm not. So it's just like, not my type of shit though. Not my type of shit.
I don't know. I get most of my lyrics and stuff and songs written from experiences too, and trauma and stuff and whatever.
But that's the real shit, and I feel like that's one thing that rap, like modern rap, like there's good stuff coming out, but I really feel like there's like a lot of artists that are just kind of riding the beat more and aren't really putting their heart and soul into it, and in the sense of like maybe trying to deliver a message. Like if you listen to like a Nas song, you learn something from that.
Yeah, there's actual lyrics behind it. Yeah,
you learn something from that. But if you put on like, I don't know, I don't want to like say names or anything, but it's just like,
I do. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's just like I can't think of one off. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it's like there's just like like mumbo jumbo rap, like you were saying, where it's just
man.
like it's just riding a beat and you're just saying
Can't
shit to sound
understand it.
cool. It's
There's
like, yeah,
no
some
soul
of the
behind it, soulless.
Yeah,
that's
and
the
it's
problem.
Like, don't get me wrong. If I got two 12-inch subs in the back of my truck and I want to hear some bass, then sure, I'll put your shit on. But I'm not gonna expect to learn something from it.
No,
You know
yeah,
what
you're
I
not
mean?
gonna be moved by it.
Yeah,
other than the bass.
Yeah, and so I feel like that there's a huge shift in like the early 2000s with rap, where you lose like Mobb Deep, that sound, like whatever. Then you it kind of carries.
And Mac
off.
Moss is trying to keep the '90s.
He's alive. Yeah, keep it alive. Yeah, but I'm not saying like there's a couple artists out there that such as yourself and some other people that are younger that are like kind of. It's kind of also happening in, like, country music. Country went through that weird phase of like stadium annoying ass country music to like now you got like Billy Strings coming out and Tyler Childers and Coulter Wall, like they're kind of bringing that raw old like dark country sound back, which I like that dark bluegrassy. I love that shit.
I love outlaw country.
Yeah,
outlaw
like
country is the best.
Yeah, outlaw country is amazing.
Hank
like,
3.
Oh yeah, and like even I gotta
it.
say like Post Malone's new album isn't that bad.
No, I like Posty.
Yeah, I
got respect for Posty. He's a little fruity and a little weird for me, but I dig him as an artist. He would he's put in the work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he spent $1 million on a magic card. So.
I'm trying to be the guy that doesn't have to tattoo his face like a detention desk, like a kid wrote on it, just to be famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm trying to prove that you ain't got to do that or look like that.
Yeah.
And no offense to Jelly Roll and Posty and all these other cats, but man, y'all look stupid. Every single one of you.
Yeah.
You fell asleep at your nephew's house and he had a marker. I mean, this is retarded. It's not good.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best image. But and what they're all doing though is it was Lil Wayne that started that, then now they're copying him and they're copying each other. And it's
watch
just
next
like,
podcast you're gonna have me on. I might be tatted all over my face.
You're gonna have everything and be like, hey man, remember that one podcast? Yeah, no, I don't get that whole shit either. I was like, I don't want none of that on my face.
Well,
but
it just seemed like
whatever.
it became a trend where people were like, I'm going to be famous if I tattoo my whole face with a bunch of scribblies.
Yeah.
And you got Lil Xanax, Lil whoever, and all these
whatever.
other kids.
Yeah.
All the Lils.
Yeah.
Okay? They live in the walls. Remember that cartoon?
No.
Y'all don't, you may be too young for the Littles.
Probably.
Yeah, but this cartoon of these little, like, I don't know what they were, mice humans. Don't know. They lived in the freaking walls.
Was that Mary Poppins or some shit? The little people live in the house. Yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious. But yeah, and I guess you could say like, for example, like Jelly Roll makes pretty decent music too. But then it's like
I love Jelly Roll. Don't get it twisted. My boy me and him have almost the same exact story. You know
guys,
what I mean?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's why I was like, you guys kind of like, I don't know about like the story, but I was gonna say you guys have like a similar kind of sound where it's like you guys have like your own setup, like and how you're delivering like your voices and stuff. But it's like you're like, I didn't want to like try to make any comparisons, but I feel like that's a good one. Is like this country rap thing, like I don't really. It's your music.
Yeah,
and I feel like he.
He stole my idea. That son of a bitch.
No, but like I feel like you guys are both good at it. I
think. Well, okay, so yeah, like you were saying that style. Yeah. I think I kind of fell into that style. Well, even before I heard about Jelly Roll, I'm a new Jelly Roll fan. Like I haven't known about him for that long. And I made my song Outlaw and my song Wisdom Road and all that. And they had that kind of Jelly Roll feel is what people have told me. And I didn't realize that at the time, and I was just humbled by it. I was like, that's really cool because we're
Outlaw's a great song. I like that one,
dude.
That.
That one hits home for me.
I think that was like the first song I listened to by you.
Really?
Yeah, it was that one. I was like, damn, that's hardcore.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Well, let's see. Okay, By My Side is my very first ever full length singing song, and it's a very quiet song about mental health awareness.
Okay.
And I don't know if you peeped that one yet, but it's,
no, that one I haven't yet.
I think it's on the Multiple Personalities album.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I should know these things. I am so unprepared.
You got a lot of work under your belt, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I think I got 32 to 35 songs out right now.
Yeah.
And I got about 235. No, and 200 I ain't putting out. No, I'm just kidding.
That's great. So,
yeah, By My Side was my first ever full-length singing song, and then Outlaw was only my fourth ever. Yeah, full.
Well, it's great. And what I like about your songs too is you like go the distance in each one. You go like they're all like 4.5 minutes, and it's just like you do like your setup. You got your chorus. Like you're very well set up in your music.
Appreciate that.
It's like that's another thing with like some like with this newer rap, people are wanting shorter, faster songs, which is like cool in its own setup. Like if you can deliver something in a minute and a half that's gonna change me, then that's dope.
Right.
But like I still kind of like the whole kind of song structure, like like 3.5, 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was one thing when I was listening to yours, like poetry when it was like I think that one's like 3.5 minutes. I can't remember.
Sure.
But like when it was going, I'm like, oh my god, it's still going, but in a good way. I was like, there's more. Like he's dropping more shit.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And so I think that's cool. Like that also to me shows like some dedication is when you can deliver 3-4 verses maybe like just or whatever, drop it in there. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of people doing that. At least in this kind of I don't know. Maybe I just don't see it. You know, but. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's crazy because, and not to backtrack too much, but going back to the quitting cigarettes things, man, you know, and after coming home from Iraq for 12 years, I couldn't hardly write a line. And I was in my relationship when I got home, you know, from Iraq and whatever, but I could hardly write at all and get anything on paper.
Why is that? Just like you couldn't focus?
Yeah, just messed up. And
yeah.
Then I quit cigarettes, and I tell you what, it was such a life changer. It gave me mental clarity, and I could start writing again. And that's when my music started, and then all these songs started, you know. And then, you know, I had and no combination or communication between them. 2 or 3, I'm just being humble, 2 or 3, 3 friends, different friends that don't even know each other, asked me if I went to the freaking crossroads and sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Because they're like, how the hell are you just all of a sudden coming out with all these songs, dude? What's going on? And I'm like, I quit cigarettes. My whole life changed. You don't understand how life-changing it is and how much nicotine and whatever has a hindrance on so many different parts of your life and body in your health.
Yeah.
Your healing time, your mental, your anxiety. I thought I had anxiety my whole life, dude.
Yeah.
Cigarettes. I got no more anxiety. My freaking arthritis is almost completely gone. My restless leg syndrome is almost completely gone. Like,
wow.
Yeah, and they say it takes up, 6 to 7, 8 years, whatever, for your body to recover fully from, you know, being a hard smoker or whatever for a long time, you know, cigarette smoker. But anyway.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I recommend, please, quit cigarettes.
Yeah.
To everybody.
Yeah, well, that goes, like, if you're a hardcore, like, you know, alcoholic and shit, too, like that, that'll fuck you up, too. It's, you know, if you're drinking hard every day, that's going to slow your ass down big time, you know?
Yeah, I know a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, it's wild shit. You got to take care of yourself. You got to have that balance.
Yeah.
I
smoke weed, but I don't.
I was just going. Okay, I was just gonna ask and be like, I don't know if this is gonna sound like a corny question, whatever, but I was gonna be like, weed. Like, how does weed fit in? Like, maybe not with your music necessarily, but does it like help you with your thinking process, or do you just like it because it helps your physical body? Like, how does weed fit in your life? I guess with that, like,
well.
I don't know if that's like the right way to ask that question.
Sure,
but
no, that's a good way. Cannabis keeps the people around me safe.
Because I know you're a huge. I know you're a huge proponent. That is hilarious.
Yeah,
I know you're a huge proponent. Like since I first met you, and even on your Facebook posts, you know, on your socials, you're a huge proponent for like cannabis.
Yeah, when I got
for
home,
the people,
right?
you know,
But when I got home from theater, man, cannabis saved my life. And for those who don't know what theater means, that's what us soldiers call a war zone or a combat, zone.
Yeah,
or where, So when I got home from Iraq, I turned to cannabis because I went through a deep, dark circle of, opioids and narcotics and stuff from the VA for 2 years, and bar hopping and drinking and this and that. You know what I mean? And deep, dark circle of that shit. And I was like, I can't do this no more. This ain't for me. I'm tired of hurting people. And humbly, I knocked out about 25 people.
Damn, dude.
At bars when I got home. I've never started a fight in my life. I've only finished them, been, picked on by especially smaller people with alcohol courage. Always wanted to pick on the big guy.
The big guy.
Right. Or, I'm trying to break some shit up and I get involved, type thing. But I didn't see a judge once for any of those because they were all on camera and I was the victim.
Yeah.
And so, I got handcuffed, arrested, booked, fingerprinted for damn near every one of them. But never saw a judge because everything's on camera.
Yeah.
You can't do shit.
Yeah,
you can't do shit no more these days anyway.
Yeah.
But and I'm like I don't like hurting people that don't deserve it. I mean, most of them deserved it, of course. But like alcohol, it's Jekyll and Hyde, man. It turns the best people into nightmares, and that's another. I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
Never have. But I've seen people with problems. With alcohol,
what it is.
Yeah, it's a big turnoff for me. Yeah. And in that 2 years after getting home from Iraq, and the opioids and pills and whatever, and whoop-de-whoop. Well, I haven't had a drink alone since 2012 and anything pill form, not even aspirine.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
man. That's
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
I'll
clap for that.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
Because pills are nasty, man, and the doctors and shit, they don't care about it. They just care about money.
Well, yeah, they want to hand out prescriptions as they get a kickback.
That's right. That's right.
It's like a huge, obviously you went through, or I haven't gone through anything like that, but like I went 2 years ago for like annual checkup or whatever, and they're like, "How you feeling, like mentally and shit?" I was like, "Oh, like anxious, and sometimes I'm depressed and feel like shit, but I get through it."
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Oh, well, do you need pills?"
Of course.
Like, first thing I was like,
That seriously happened?
"Yeah, that happened." They're like,
"Hey,
well,
you're going through something? You
yeah,
want some Oxy?"
Yeah, no, well, not like
what the fuck.
They wanted to give me like SSRIs, like antidepressants and shit, and I'm just like, it's like I don't think I'm that bad. Like, if anything, write me a prescription to like a gym or something. You know what I mean?
How
like,
about a free gym membership?
Yeah,
maybe
for
a
real.
Jamba
or
Juice card or something.
I was like, no, like, yeah, like I slip. I have my moments, but like I don't think I need no pills. Growing up, my mom did a bunch of pills, and pills just freaked me the fuck out, and it's just like, I want nothing to do with that, and I don't even like taking it. I've never had a problem with pills, but I just don't like taking anything like it because it freaks me the fuck out. Dude.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
ibuprofen, I have a hard time just taking ibuprofen.
So
like, just
me and
because
ibuprofen, oh boy.
What'd you OD on ibuprofen?
Jesus,
dude?
so
Like,
the last 20-ish missions in Iraq, I'd fractured my lower back in 3 places over there and didn't tell anybody.
Oh my god.
Because don't blame me, blame my recruiter. No, they teach us mission first, don't leave your men and this and that. And I figured I could get by with it fucking fractured. And
wait, what was it again? I'm sorry.
Oh, so my lower back was fractured in 3 places
shit.
from an accident over there, and I didn't tell nobody. And so I thought I could get by, because if I told somebody and they found out my shit was fractured, I didn't even know it was fractured.
They'd book you home.
They'd send me to Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's leaving my man in infantry. We don't mission first. If if we still got toes, we're still pulling the trigger. You know what I mean? So there's no way I was going to get shipped off to Germany for however long it took them to fix me. And it was towards the end of our tour, and I had about 20 missions left, and I did them with fractured lower back. And I didn't tell nobody, so I was popping 800 milligram ibuprofen like Skittles.
Whoa.
I was up to 35 a day.
Bro, how'd your liver even survive?
Exactly.
Man? Holy shit, dude.
35 800s a day, and all kinds of anti-inflammatories. I can't remember the name of them, but yeah. So, and I got home and I collapsed. I just collapsed, man. Yeah.
So was it like your vertebrae were smashed?
Yeah, my L2, L3, L4 was all L-shape kind of fractures through them because it was a compression fracture, and since it compressed or whatever,
it kicked
them out. Yeah, and so
you're lucky you're still able to walk, man.
Well, yeah. So like that's another thing, man. They told me, like several doctors told me that I'd be in a wheelchair by 2010 or 2020, and for the rest of my life. And I went through hell for 10 years getting home after the surgery because the VA didn't do a very good job. Okay, and that was in 2012. So 2022, 2 years ago, I basically became normal again as far as my back pain subsided because of the cigarettes, quitting the cigarettes. My love handles, I don't work on them, but when you injure your lower back and stuff, your body automatically forms love handles to support the injury. It's like
that's wild.
Yeah, it's a biological reaction. Yeah, right. You don't want love handles, bro. No. So now my love handles are coming in. I ain't even working on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being proactive and and sticking to my good diet and being pure and natural as possible, and that's it. So, but I changed my whole life around, and cigarettes was a big key.
Yeah,
a big key. Yeah.
I can't imagine with cigarettes. I imagine you're just constantly inflamed. I gotta imagine.
Yeah, and before I bought this house, I was in a 2-story house renting, and that was 10 years ago. And so while I was in that house, I was shitting and pissing in a pot and throwing it out my bedroom window on the 2nd story. EMT had to rescue me and break into my house like 7-8 times and like take me to the hospital, shoot me up, freaking, you know what I mean? Just so I could not be going through spasms and screaming like a little girl. You know what I mean?
Man, I can't.
10 years of that.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So when you were in Iraq, it was like you were out actually boots on the ground kind of shit.
Yeah, and we did convoy security. But we did humanitarian missions as well, and that's really what I'd like to remember about the tour. Like taking this village and this school in this village, just all these brand new school supplies that these kids, most of them had never even seen before. Like protractors and stuff like rulers. I mean, yeah, right. And we delivered this village $250,000 solar powered. It looked like a generator, but it was it had solar panels on top, and it was an it was a water purification system. And this village we were trying to get friendly with their leaders. They've been drinking out of this shit creek and shitting and pissing in it, the same creek for eons. And we delivered them this $250,000 machine and put the hose directly in the fucking shit creek muddy water behind their little huts. Yeah. Instant pure water. They were drinking it instantly. And so, these were the kinds of missions that I really loved, the humanitarian stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty cool.
I was a 50 cal gunner, so.
Wow. So you like on
top of the vehicles.
On top of the vehicles. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one thing people need to remember, like when they think about, especially like the Middle East, is just like not all of it is. Everyone always thinks it's like the nefarious acts, but there was some real humanitarian aid going on over there. Good stuff, at least from what I've researched and read.
Yeah, and they still hated us, or hate us. Yeah. They still do.
Yeah,
but it's you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's not much we can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking for that video, but I can't
50
find
cal
it.
gunner. That I feel like that'd be like the wildest position because then it's like everyone's trying to go after you first.
Right.
You know, like that's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, definitely something that made you who you are. You know, like
Yeah.
it's,
It saved my life and it ruined my life. I'll put it that way.
it's like I guess like going off. I know we're like off like. We trailed off the music a bit,
No,
but I
it's all
still
good.
feel like this is good, you know, good shit to talk
Yeah.
about.
The more content, the better. Then you can edit and.
Yeah, you know, I also just think this is like a good segue because it just lets us into who you are.
Yeah.
But going back to the like for people getting out, you know, I feel like I'm not a vet, but I still feel like cannabis is something that maybe some people should consider. Even I don't know what the VA's rules on
So
that
the
are.
VA
like,
I think, is just recently changed their observation of it. Either that or the OHSU. One of the two. I know they're linked up there in Portland. Those two hospitals, they're connected by a skywalk or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, the crane thing.
Well, that's they moved. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I think nowadays they're recognizing cannabis as a treatment for veterans now, but I'm not. I don't know if it's gone through yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they move that ball soon.
Didn't
I think
it federally just get?
Well,
taken off
they're talking about rescheduling it to a Schedule 3 drug,
Instead
but
of the one,
they
yeah.
pushed it back, and you know it's just bureaucratic bullshit. But yeah, the DEA was wanting to reschedule it.
Yeah.
And
They probably are just still trying to figure out how to make money off of it for themselves, you know?
well, because big
Yeah.
they got to get big pharma in. You know, it's
Yeah.
probably that's what freaks me out. Like I want it to be federally legal, but also I'm scared about being federally legal because of big pharma getting their grimy ass hands on everything. You know, and
That's what'll happen too.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Yep.
But what's up? No, go ahead, dude.
Well, right when sorry.
You're good.
Right when they did the misdemeanor, what was that? Some kind of legislation for the amount that you could carry and not get a misdemeanor, you had to, like, go to rehab or whatever.
Yeah.
I read an article that stated that, like, the state of Oregon lost, like, $1 million specifically off of the profit of the tax on recreational marijuana. So it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah,
How do you just
how do
lose
you
$1 million, dude?
How do you fuck that up? Well, that's kind of like the thing where they passed that law to decriminalize all drugs, and they were going to build all these facilities.
Yeah.
Then they all collapsed during COVID, and so everyone pocketed the money, and nothing got built.
So
they I think they retracted the law now.
They did.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think they
Jesus.
did.
So here's the thing: Portugal, the country,
Yeah.
was the first ever to legalize or decriminalize drugs, right?
Yeah.
And basically legalize everything,
Yeah.
but offer free treatment, right?
Yeah.
So it brought crime down about 80%. So it worked for Portugal as far as the crime goes and the homelessness and the whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
They fumbled here.
they fucked it up hard.
Dude, big time. And I didn't read a super whole lot into it, but I definitely like got what happened. And so like, how do you guys fuck that up? You know, and it's like,
well,
yeah.
here's one reason. You can edit this out or keep it. I don't care. And I don't give a shit about the feds, the CIA. I don't give a fuck about nobody like that. And so I'll say it. The OLCC is in bed with the cartel.
really,
And that's a fucking fact.
Well,
Fuck the OLCC.
well, it's like you see, like you hear about in California. You know, a lot of what grows in Northern California is all cartel farms.
Why do you think OLCC took off their logo underneath the little marijuana leaf on all cartridges and packages in dispensaries? It no longer says OLCC underneath the little warning leaf
Yeah.
because they're shipping them out of state and selling them illegally to Idaho and fucking places like this.
Is that like when they wrote like CA under the warning label? Is that what you're talking about?
No. So let me see. Oh, right here. So underneath that red leaf,
Yeah.
the OLCC logo used to be underneath
Oh, okay.
it. Yeah.
Damn.
Once they got in bed with the cartel, they said, "Let's take our name off it so nobody knows, eh, vato."
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get to the bottom of that, man, because that's, you know, there's a lot of scary shit. Like, you know, and I know we're going off track
It's
here,
all
but
good.
it's
It's
like,
fun.
you know, it's like China buying land and building pot farms
It's
and
real.
shit.
That's why I
dude.
quit my
Like,
TikTok. quit your TikTok.
Oh,
if you
I
got
deleted.
TikTok.
I never had one. I
They're
never
actually
made one.
using that to gain real estate in America.
Well, it's like, you know, if I want someone to steal my data, I'll have an American company do it. You know what I mean? Like, they're all stealing data, but I'll leave it to the OGs, the ones that've had my data since I was a kid. You know? It's just like, but yeah. But anyway, it's just, there's a lot to unpack there.
So much.
There's so much shit. But yeah, so just kind of diving back into the music a little bit. When you get moved and you get all your shit squared away, when do you think you'll be dropping another project or something?
Well, I have my song For the Free. I don't know if you saw that one yet.
No.
It's not out there yet, just my live version. And it's actually called For the Free, a song from a soldier. And I don't expect nobody to say the whole thing. They'll just, from, through the annals of time, they'll just say For the Free by Mac Moss,
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
But technically, it's For the Free, a song from a soldier.
That's pretty cool.
It's So I got a Marine buddy. What up, Jake Child?
Are we allowed to?
I don't know, buddy.
I don't know if YouTube will allow us, like, even though it's your. I don't know if it's even though it's your music. I don't know if they'll. Mark us for copyright.
One way to find out.
Look that up really quick. Yeah, go on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So this song,
I feel like it should be okay.
This song, my buddy, my bro, Jake Child.
Shout out.
Shout out. He loves it. He loves it so much, and that means the world to me. Yeah, it's a really powerful song, and I think it's just going to be a real good song for America. It could be a good song for any country that wants to, celebrate their patriotism and whatever.
Okay. Well, okay, then I feel like we should be able to, because he's right here. So I feel like if he just says he gives us permission, then YouTube shouldn't.
I give permission. My name is Mac Moss. I hereby declare.
Yeah, go on YouTube and look up
that Hella Dank
I just
podcast.
Want to hear
I give them permission.
Hell yeah, signed by yours truly.
Yeah, but this song is the first one I have to record because it is so important.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to cut that little. Was it For the Free?
For the Free. It's
just
type
in
on my
Mac
page.
Moss.
Song by...
No, I just put in Mac Moss. Or whatever.
You got it. Fucking shit.
Let's see, the breakup.
If you go to my page, it's right on the thing. That's the break.
Probably have to
videos. Yep, right there, first one.
Go ahead and turn it down a little bit on the keyboard right there.
This one is gonna be a banger.
Yeah, turn it on a little bit.
Hey, it's for the free.
Did I do that?
I don't know. Yeah.
So you just decided to put out a rough cut?
Yeah,
and then you're gonna do
I do a lot of sneak peeks, live performance sneak peaks.
Yeah, that's badass.
Pause this. I just wanted to hear a little bit of it.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty legit. Dude.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's basically from the view of a soldier, just how much us soldiers love our country and love the flag, and how much we cherish it, and that's all,
Yeah, I think it's important for people to recognize, guys like you have done service, and I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate you guys enough, and
well, we're
someone's got it's like
I don't support our government, and I don't support a lot of government entities. But I do support the troops, and I hope that everybody, even liberals, even snowflake leftists, I don't know if the alphabet mafia, whatever. I hope that they can be patriotic enough to love, the soldiers and support the troops. Not necessarily the military, the heads of the military, or definitely not the government. I don't. But
but it's the guys like you and a regular guy that gives up for whatever, that they're brave enough to go over and do it, and it's it's.
They say we're the 1% of Americans.
Yeah.
Only 1% of Americans sign up, but here's what's important is that we're your sons, your daughters, your aunts, your uncles, your moms, your dads, your sisters, brothers. We're just your family members. That's it, you know? And so we're just like you, but we signed up.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether we went over to fight or not, we signed up. And it takes so much bravery just to sign up and raise that right hand. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate, thank you for coming through. And I feel like, and thank you for your service.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Like, thanks for everything. Like, we're over an hour. So
thanks to all the vets out there for their service.
Yeah, thank you guys. Seriously, thank you all of you.
Yeah.
And again,
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming through. I know it's a bit of a drive. I really appreciate it,
good.
and thank you for that performance in the beginning. I think we covered a lot of ground here, and
I had just taken a dab, so I was a little winded. But
you killed it. You fucking killed it. That was awesome.
No, you did great. And then I'd look. If you're down, I'd like to have you on in the future.
Yeah, definitely
seriously,
down, man. Definitely
down. I'm down to have repeat guests, and you're a really cool dude. And
that's awesome.
I feel like this was like I was saying off camera, whatever. I met you a handful of times through our mutual friend Kelly.
Yeah.
Never
Shout out,
actually hung out with you, and so it's really cool to just kind of sit and get up close and personal.
Yeah.
And you got shit going on. I respect your hustle. And
it was kind of loud trimming buds next to you to bond with you.
Yeah,
back in the
day. I might have close to military grade hearing damage.
Yeah. Yep.
But thanks again, man. I appreciate
man.
it. And thank you guys for listening. This is that Hella Dank podcast. I'll see you next time.
Hella Dank
Peace
podcast. Yeah, Mac Moss. These days are the ones you wanna hold on to. These days should be spent with the ones who love you. These days, whoa, these days, hold on tight to these days.